Once upon a time, in Benares, in northern India, an enlightened being was born into the royal family. When he became king, he was called Subuddhi the Great.
King is very kind and generous.
Yes, he spends much of the royal treasury for noble causes. Food and aid is given freely to all the poor and needy who come here, even to unknown travelers.
Soon, King Subuddhi became famous for his patience, kindness, and compassion. He loved all beings just like a father loves his young children. Since he wished to harm none, King Subuddhi even refused to imprison or injure wrongdoers. The king had a wise but cunning minister. One day,
Let me take advantage of the situation.
he slowly but steadily started to steal money from the treasury. This went on for a few days. One day, the king learnt about the theft. He called the bad minister.
Minister, I have investigated and found that you have committed a crime. Word of it has spread, and you have dishonored yourself here in Benares. You have brought dishonor to yourself and your family. Take all your wealth and your family. Go and live somewhere else. Let this teach you a lesson.
The minister took his family and all his belongings to the city of Kausala.
Let me meet the King of Kausala and ask for a job.
Since he was very clever, he worked his way up and became a minister of the king.
Now, as a minister, I should act in such a way that I should become the most trusted advisor to the King of Kausala.
One day,
My lord, the city of Benares is like a beehive where the bees have no stingers. The ruling king is very tender and weak. With only a very small army, you can easily conquer the city and make it yours.
You are my minister, but you talk like a spy who is leading me into a trap.
No, my lord. If you don't believe me, send your best spies to examine what I say. I am not lying. When robbers are brought to the king of Benares, he gives them money, advises them not to take what is not given, and then lets them go free.
the king decided to find out if this was true. So he sent some robbers to raid a remote border village belonging to Benares. The villagers caught the looters and brought them to King Subuddhi the Great.
Why do you commit these kinds of crimes?
Lord, we are poor people. We cannot survive without money.
As your kingdom has plenty of workers, there is no work for us to do. So we had to loot the country in order to survive.
Hearing this, the king gave them gifts of money, advised them to change their ways and let them go free. The robbers soon returned to Kausala. What?
He set you free and moreover gave you gifts. This time, let me send another gang of bandits to the streets of Benares itself.
These bandits too looted the shops and even killed some of the people. When they were captured and brought to King Subuddhi,
Give them the money and send them away.
hearing this, the King of Kausala said,
Let's march towards Benares.
his troops and elephants marched towards Benares. But the king of Benares had a mighty army, which included very brave elephants. There were many ordinary soldiers, and also some who were as big as giants. The Benaresi army was capable of conquering all India.
My lord, the small army of Kausala king is on the way to invade us.
Milord, say a single word and we will crush the whole army to pieces.
My children, do not fight, just so I may remain king. If we destroy the lives of others, we also destroy our own peace of mind. Why should we kill others?
If we didn't fight, they will invade our kingdom.
Let them have the kingdom if they want it so badly. I do not wish to fight.
Milord, if you do not want to kill them, we will beat them with our weapons and capture them all. We are much stronger than they are. We will not have to kill any of them. And besides, if we surrender the city, the enemy army will surely kill us all.
But King Subuddhi was not moved. He refused to cause harm to anyone.
Even if you do not kill them, many people will be injured, and some may even die by accident. Therefore, I will not harm or cause others to harm any living being.
Then King Subuddhi ordered the city gates be opened up for the invaders. He took his ministers to the top floor of the palace and advised them.
Say nothing and try to remain calm.
The king of Kausala entered the city of Benares and saw that no one was defending it. He surrounded the royal palace. He found that even the palace doors were thrown open to him.
This is surprising. Not even a single soul to fight against us. Let's march ahead.
So he and his soldiers entered the palace and went up to the top floor. They captured the innocent King Subuddhi the Great.
Soldiers, tie the hands of the defeated king and all his ministers.
The soldiers took King Subuddhi and his ministers to the cemetery and buried them up to their necks, standing straight up, with only their heads above the ground. But even while he was being buried in sand, the great being remained calm and said nothing. Out of sheer discipline and obedience to King Subuddhi, all his ministers too remained silent. But the king of Kausala had no mercy.
Come night time, let the jackals do as they please.
By midnight, a large band of jackals wandered into the cemetery. They could smell a feast of human flesh waiting for them. Seeing them coming, the ministers began shouting, "Hoo! Hoo! 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 Hoo!" The shouting scared the jackals away. This happened twice.
These men must have been put here for us to kill and eat. Let us not get frightened.
The king offered his throat when the jackal king walked right up to his face. But before he could bite, the king grabbed the jackal's chin with his teeth. Without harming him, King Subuddhi gripped him tightly so that the Jackal King howled in fear. This frightened his followers and they all ran away. Meanwhile, the Jackal King thrashed back and forth, trying madly to free himself from the mighty jaws of King Subuddhi. In so doing, he loosened the dirt packed around the king's neck and shoulders. Then King Subuddhi released the screaming jackal. He was able to wriggle free from the loosened earth and pull himself up onto the ground. Then he freed all his frightened ministers. Nearby, there was a dead body. It just so happened that the body was lying on the border of the territories claimed by two rival demons.
Don't touch. That's my dinner.
Hee hee hee, hoo hoo hoo. That's mine.
They were arguing over the division of the body, insulting each other in ways that only demons can. Then one demon said to the other,
Stop! Look there! It's the great King Subuddhi of Benares. He is famous for his righteousness. He will divide the dead body for us.
They dragged the body to the king.
Please divide this equally.
Friends, I'm glad to divide this for you. But I'm filthy and dirty. I must clean myself first.
The demons used their magical powers to conjure scented water, perfume, clothing, ornaments and flowers from the king's own palace in Benares. He bathed, perfumed himself, dressed and covered himself with ornaments and flower garlands.
Is there anything else that we can do?
Yes, I am feeling hungry.
Again, using their magical powers, the demons conjured the most delicious flavored rice in a golden bowl and perfumed drinking water in a golden cup. When he was satisfied, King Subuddhi asked them to bring him the sword of the state from the palace in Benares. This too appeared in a jiffy. The king divided the body into two equal halves and said,
Now, take your share.
The hungry demons happily gobbled up the fairly divided dead body. Then they gratefully said to King Subuddhi,
Now that we are full, is there anything else we can do to please you?
With your magic, send me to my own bedroom in the palace where King of Kausala is sleeping, and send all my ministers back to their homes.
Without a word, the demons did exactly as the king asked. At that moment, the King of Kausala was fast asleep in the royal bedchamber. King Subuddhi gently touched the belly of the sleeping king with his sword. The king awoke with a great shock. In the dim lamplight, he was frightened to see King Subuddhi leaning over him with a sword in his hand.
Milord, how did you come here in spite of all my guards? You were buried up to your neck in the cemetery. How is it you are spotlessly clean, sweet-smelling, dressed in your own royal robes, and decorated with fine jewelry and the loveliest flowers?
King Subuddhi told him the story of his escape from the band of jackals. He told him about the two demons who came to him to settle their quarrel, and he told him how they gratefully helped him with their magical powers. On hearing this, the King of Kausala was overcome with shame. He bowed his head to King Subuddhi and cried,
O great king, the stupid ferocious demons, who live by eating the flesh and drinking the blood of dead bodies, they recognized your supreme goodness. But I, who was lucky enough to be born as an intelligent and civilized human being. I have been too foolish to see how wonderful your pure goodness is. I promise never again to plot against you, my lord. My lord, you who are so perfectly harmless. And I promise to serve you forever as the truest of friends. Please forgive me, great king.
The next day, the King of Kausala called all his soldiers into the palace courtyard. There, he publicly praised the King of Benares and asked his forgiveness once again. He gave him back his kingdom and promised that he would always protect King Subuddhi. Then he punished his advisor, the criminal minister, and returned to Kausala with all his troops and elephants. King Subuddhi the Great continued performing wholesome work. The moral is, refuse to harm others and win over one and all with a good heart. In Tenagar, a youth named Sethu was wandering about in search of a job. One day, when he was wandering, the treasurer of the kingdom and his friend passed along the same way.
The king is happy with you. The treasury is full of riches. What is the secret of your success?
Good business sense.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
How can I explain this to you? Do you see that dead rat?
Yes.
If I apply my mind, then even without any money, I can begin a trade with that dead rat.
With a dead rat...
Sethu was listening to the whole conversation as he walked behind him. He came to a standstill and looked at the dead rat.
The treasurer must have said that on some basis. Let me take his advice.
So Sethu picked up the dead rat and walked on. A merchant was coming from the opposite direction with his cat. Suddenly, the cat slipped out of his arms.
Pussy, pussy, where are you running?
The merchant saw the dead rat and understood why his cat ran away in that direction. He came to the youth.
Will you sell your rat to me? I will pay you for it.
This one?
The merchant took 1 paisa and gave it to Sethu. Sethu accepted the money and gave away the rat. He moved on with 1 paise and began to wonder what he could do with that 1 paise. Coming to a conclusion, he went to a shop and purchased jaggery for that 1 paisa.
Let me take a pot of water and this jaggery and wait at the outskirts of the town, where people return from the jungle with flowers and fruits.
So Sethu sat under a tree. In the afternoon, he saw many people returning after completing their job. Sethu was now hopeful. An old man passed by.
Brother, you must be very tired. Eat a little jaggery and drink some water to quench your thirst.
May you live long. I am very grateful. Take some flowers. Will you bring the water tomorrow also?
Of course.
The old man gave him some flowers and went on his way. Sethu served water to many passers-by and received flowers from them in return. In the evening, Sethu took the flowers to the temple and began to sell them there.
Wow! Now I have earned 8 paise. This is the first time I have earned money.
Sethu now bought a big jug and more jaggery. He went to the same spot by the side of the road leading to the jungle as before. On the way, he saw some farmers cutting grass in the fields.
Let me try here. If any of you are thirsty, drink water.
Oh brother, we are all thirsty.
They took water from Sethu.
If you need any help, please let us know. We will help you.
Thank you, brother.
In this way, 1 month passed. One evening, when the youth was returning home, heavy wind began blowing. Due to the wind, the branches of trees and leaves were scattered all around. When Sethu saw this,
When money can be earned from a dead mouse, why not from the branches of trees?
the next day he went to meet the royal gardener.
You look worried. Why? What happened?
You can see branches scattered all around the garden. The king will be here any moment. I wonder if I'll be able to clean the garden before he comes.
Don't worry. I will help you clean this place. But in return, you must give all the wood to me.
By all means, take it.
Sethu loaded all the wood in a cart. And he sold all of it to a potter. The potter gave him 100 copper coins. Sethu was returning with the money. On the way, he heard that the next day a horse merchant was going to sell his 500 horses.
If I make arrangements for the grass for all the horses, I can earn a lot of money.
So Sethu went to the farmer.
Brother, how are you?
I am fine. I want few bundles of grass.
Of course. You can take as much as you want.
Each farmer gave a little grass. Sethu collected around 500 bundles and loaded them in a cart and proceeded to the market. There, the horse merchant was looking for fodder. When he saw Sethu with the grass, he became very happy. Sethu sold the fodder for 1,000 copper coins.
I am very happy. I have earned 1,000 copper coins. Now I have enough money to start a big business.
After a few days, Sethu heard that a merchant ship was due to arrive the next day.
A merchant ship? Let me buy some new clothes and approach the merchant.
Sethu dressed up very well and hired a chariot. He mounted the chariot and went to the bank of the river. Soon the ship arrived.
Welcome, merchant, welcome. I wish to purchase all your goods.
The merchant was very pleased with Sethu's welcome and he agreed to sell all his goods to him.
It might take me some time to arrange for such large amount of money. You might have to wait for a few days. Till then, keep this advance payment with you.
The merchant granted him the time. Sethu put up a shelter a short distance from there. A little later, many merchants from the town reached there. They approached the ship merchant to buy his goods, but learnt that Sethu had already purchased everything. The merchants approached Sethu.
We wish to buy all the goods from the ship, and in return we will give you 1 lakh gold coins.
Sethu readily accepted their offer and took 1 lakh gold coin. He paid the balance amount due to the ship merchant and handed the goods to the local merchants.
Now I am a very rich person.
Sethu was returning home with the gold coins. All the way, he was thinking of the treasurer and his advice.
I should thank the treasurer and show my gratitude.
After a few days, he went to the treasurer's house.
Sir, on the basis of your advice, I have earned enough money in 4 months. So I have come here to thank you and give you this present.
Sethu handed over a golden mouse.
Sorry, I have not even seen you before. How could I have advised you if I don't even remember your face? I think you have mistaken me for someone else.
No, sir. It was your advice that helped me earn a lot of money.
Sethu began telling him the entire story, starting with the incident with the rat.
What a smart boy you are. I am very impressed with your hard work and dedication. I would like to keep you with me.
After a few months, Sethu married the treasurer's daughter.
Sethu, now my daughter and all my property belongs to you. I know you will take good care of both of them.
Thus, Sethu spent his days very happily.